Hello and welcome to our documentary, The Cultural and Social Legacy of Musicals, from Broadway to Hollywood. Today, we embark on a journey through time, uncovering how musicals have evolved and shaped both art and society. From their humble beginnings on the stage to their grand adaptation onto the silver screen, musicals have left an undeniable impact. Theater is more than just entertainment. It is a form of artistic expression that merges the power of storytelling with the emotional depth of music and the visual spectacle of dance. For centuries, audiences have been drawn to the magic of musicals, captivated by their ability to convey deep human emotions through song, movement, and dramatic performance. Whether they explore the heights of joy or depths of despair, they create an experience that lingers long after the curtain falls. At their core, musicals are about storytelling. The instrumentals bring to light the themes of love, ambition, hardship, and triumph. They allow us to live through the characters who sing their emotions. They offer an escape, but also a profound connection to our own realities, making us laugh, cry, and more. Musicals have long played an important role in cultural and social evolution. They have reflected the changing times, from optimism and glamour of early Broadway productions to the raw, socially conscious narratives of modern musical theater. Over the years, they have served as a mirror to society, tackling issues like race, class, gender, and identity, sometimes in ways that other forms of media cannot. Are also a celebration of collaboration. Unlike other forms of performance, which may rely primarily on acting or music alone, musicals are a symphony of multiple disciplines working together in harmony. For example, composers, lyricists, playwrights, choreographers, set designers, costume artists, and performers come together to create something greater than the sum of its parts. Each element enhances the other. Music brings emotion to the story, dance adds dynamism to the characters, and visual transport audiences into the main focus of the narrative. A live musical is a shared experience, one that connects performers and audience members in a unique dialogue. Every night, a different audience brings a different energy, making each performance singular, alive, and irreplaceable.
Yet the influence of musical extends far beyond the stage. The golden age of Hollywood ushered in a new era, where musicals found a home on the silver screen, reaching audiences across the world. Musical films have brought the magic of the stage to cinema, creating an entirely new way for people to experience the genre. Today, with streaming services and online platforms, musicals are more accessible than ever, allowing people from all walks of life to engage with and appreciate this art from form in ways that were once unimaginable. And what makes musical truly timeless is their ability to adapt, evolve, and remain relevant in every era. They can be bold and experimental, breaking the conventions of traditional storytelling, or they can embrace nostalgia, remind us of the classics that have stood the test of time. They appeal to all generations, uniting audience through their universal themes and emotional depth. Whether it's a grand Broadway production, a small community theatre show, or a new musical streamed in the comfort of one's home, musicals have a way of making us feel part of something larger than ourselves.
This documentary is a tribute to that legacy. It is a celebration of the music, the stories, the artistry, and the impact that musicals have had on our culture and society. So, as we take you on this journey from Broadway to Hollywood, from the golden age to the digital age, we invite you to rediscover the wonders of musicals, their power to move, inspire, and transform us all.
Musicals have been part of human culture for centuries. They combine music, acting, and dance to create stories that are emotional, exciting, and unforgettable. But where did they begin? Long before Broadway and Hollywood, theater and music were already connected. In ancient Greece, plays included chorus that sang to narrate the story. Later, during the Middle Ages, religious theater in Europe used to use music to make stories more engaging. However, musicals as we know them today started developing in the 19th century. At that time, there were two main types of musical performances: operetta and vaudeville. In Europe, operettas were a lighter, more entertaining form of opera. Composers like Gilbert and Sullivan created operettas that include comedy, catchy songs, and spoken dialogue. Meanwhile, in the US, vaudeville was extremely popular. Vaudeville shows were a mix of short performances, singing, dancing, comedy, and even magic tricks, all in one night. These two traditions helped shape the modern musical. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Broadway was becoming the heart of musical theater in America. One of the first major productions was The Black Crook in 1866, which many consider to be the first true musical because it combined a full story with music and dance. Soon, composers like George M. Cohan and Jerome Kern started creating a more American style of musicals, moving away from European influences, and focusing on storytelling through song. Then everything changed with the invention of sound films. In 1927, The Jazz Singer became the first movie with recorded dialogue and music. It was a major success, and Hollywood quickly realized that musicals could be incredible on the big screen. During the 30s and the 40s, actors like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers became famous for their elegant and entertaining musical films, full of impressive dance numbers and romantic stories. At the same time, Broadway continued to evolve. In the 40s, Rodgers and Hammerstein revolutionized the industry with Oklahoma. Instead of just using songs for entertaining, they made music an essential part of storytelling. Every song helped develop the characters and advance the plot. This was turning point for musicals, making them more emotional, deep, and connected to real life themes. Their later works like Carousel and South Pacific followed this style, changing the future of musical theater. Musicals have come a long way from their early days. They started as simple performances with music, but over time they evolved into a major part of entertainment. More than just for performances, musicals became a reflection of society, showing the dreams, struggles, and emotions of different generations. Whether on stage or in movies, musicals continue to bring people together. Their mix of music, dance, and storytelling makes them unique, emotional, and unforgettable. The way they blend all these elements creates an experience that speaks to people's hearts.
As the time passed, musicals started to reflect social and political changes. In the 1950s and the 60s, some production focused on serious topics instead of just romance or comedy. For example, the West Side Story told the story of two rival gangs and explored racism and immigration issues in America. It was inspired by Romeo and Juliet, but it gave the classic love story a modern and dramatical twist. In the late 60s, cabaret shocked audiences by showing life in Nazi Germany, mixing love, danger, and politics. Instead of just entertaining, musicals started making people think. Then came the 1980s and 90s. a time when musicals became even bigger and more dramatic. Productions like Miserables and Phantom of the Opera became global sensations, playing in theater all over the world. These musicals had huge sets, powerful songs, and deep emotional stories that left audiences speechless. But not all musicals follow this traditional style. Rent, which premiered in 1996, was completely different. It focused on young artists struggling with poverty, love, and illness in New York City. It also introduced rock music into the world of musical theater, attracting younger audiences who want something fresh and real. As we enter the 21st century, musicals continue to change and grow. Hamilton became one of the biggest successes of all time by mixing hip hop with historical storytelling, making history exciting for a new generation. Movie musicals also made a big comeback with films like La La Land, The Greatest Showman, and in the wait bringing musical storytelling back to Hollywood. Today, musicals are more accessible than ever. That's to streaming service and online platforms. People from all over the world can enjoy Broadway productions from their own homes. Musicals continue to evolve, exploring new themes, different styles, and diverse voices. Whether on a stage, in movies, or even in digital forms, musicals remain one of the most powerful ways to tell a story.